was from this very moment that the relationship between my father and me began to change. I stopped being taciturn and began to initiate conversation with him. I finally understood that to truly know my father, I must first understand these mountains and these honest villagers.
In these mountains, you can walk for miles without seeing a soul. It's enough to bore even the gods to death.
It's not boring.
If gods can fly through the clouds, why do mountain folk choose to live here?
Because they are the descendants of immortals.
It only then occurred to me that my mother was also from the mountains, and my father told me the story of how he and mother first met. Many years ago, on a day of torrential rain, while my young mother was herding cattle for the production team, she accidentally sprained her ankle and was left stranded alone in the mountains. Father, who happened to be passing by on his route, found her, and without hesitation carried her all the way down the mountain. It was that very journey on his back that made mother decide he was the one, while the villagers rushed over to anxiously check on the water buffalo. Only father's eyes never once left mother. Later, father brought mother out of the mountains, and they started a family. And then I came along. After crossing several more peaks, we arrived at the second village. Their father told me that a postman's job isn't always so straightforward. Besides the bulk mail for the village committee, there are special letters that must be delivered to certain people by hand. The first recipient we went to see was Grandma Wu, who is blind. As we walked in, we saw Grandma Wu sitting alone by her door. She seemed like a statue of watchfulness, until she heard Lao Air's familiar bark. A glimmer of life returned to her vacant eyes. She knew the postman had arrived. Father took a letter from his bag and handed it to her. Grandma Wu took the letter and pressed it against her face. Only then did she tear it open. After putting away the money inside, she handed the letter to father for him to read it to her.
Read it.
All right.
Hello, Grandma. I hope you're keeping well. Your eye trouble hasn't flared up again, has it? Is your back pain any better?
How many times have I asked that?
Everything is fine with me here. Things are changing fast here in the special zone. I've been very busy with work. I haven't been able to find the time to visit you. If you have any trouble, just tell the postman who brings the mail. He'll find someone to help you out.
All right. He says I should let you know if I need anything. Write to him and tell him that there's a new postman now.
Granny Wu, didn't I tell you? My son has taken over the route. It's the same as me doing it.
My father has kept up this white lie for over a decade. To Granny Wu, the repeated contents of this letter are her only connection to the outside world, her only reason to keep on living. Father stopped halfway through the reading and handed me the blank paper, gesturing for me to continue in. Panic surged as I looked at the blank sheet in my hand, so I just braced myself and made up a few lines.
Living all alone in these mountains is truly not easy. Life here in the special zone is much better. I really should bring you out to see it. You can enjoy your later years in comfort. I wish you good health and all the best.
The letter finished, we stood up to take our leave. Behind us, Granny Wu remained in her familiar chair. She kept waving toward us for a long time as we walked away. It was as if she was seeing our family on a long journey. There are many people like Granny Wu deep in these mountains. Some are left behind children. Others are elderly people living alone. A postman delivers much more than just mail. Carries the most precious bonds and longings between people. I couldn't help but think of my own mother. Father was away all year on the mail route, while mother waited faithfully at home. Was she not also a lonely soul, caught in a cycle of waiting? We reached the third village before nightfall. A pure Dong girl appeared before us, looking like a spirit of the mountains. Seeing Lao, running toward her, she knelt down gently to pet him. It was her crystal clear smile that made my naive heart race, leaving me too nervous to speak. The girl told us a family in the village was supposed to have a wedding 2 days ago, but hearing that father was coming, they moved the banquet to tonight, just to share a drink with the respected rural postman. As darkness fell, the bonfire lit up the night sky. The young men and women changed into their exquisite ethnic costumes, singing and dancing around the fire. The Dong girl and I danced joyfully together in the firelight. The air was thick with the energy of youth. A long-awaited smile of relief appeared on my father's face. In the daze, he too seemed to recall his own youth. Lulled by the wine, father drifted into a deep sleep, filled with fond memories. Early the next morning, father woke up to find the Dong girl and me in the kitchen, tending the fire, and laughing together just like a young couple in love. After a warm breakfast in the village, we set off once again, seeing me in high spirits. Father couldn't help but tease me a little.
Every time I come into these mountains and see her, I think of you. I thought to myself, maybe one day, if my son sees her, he won't be able to tear himself away either.
As we continued, the bond between us had grown much closer. While passing a stream, Father told me, wading across here saves us 8 li of mountain trekking. This is a shortcut he found over the years to save time, but these same icy waters have left him with chronic leg ailments. Father habitually began rolling up his trousers to enter the water, but I stopped him.
I've got this. You don't need to go into the water anymore.
I'm used to it. 1 or 2 more times won't make a difference.
Oh, you. Just let yourself be looked after for once.
He carefully held the post bag high above my head and waded steadily to the other side. Then I quickly returned to carry my father on my back. In my memory, Father had always been a towering figure of strength, but as I actually felt his weight on my back, I realized he was even lighter than the post bag. He too was overcome with emotion. He never imagined that one day he would be carried on my back like a child. He struggled to contain his feelings. Perhaps most Chinese fathers and sons are like this, never good with words, showing all their love through their actions. By the time we reached the shore, Father was already in tears. To keep me from noticing, he quickly turned his face away. Lao diligently brought over dry wood, a silent understanding built with Father over the years. I was puzzled. What's this for?
He brought wood so you can warm yourself. Every time I'm here, I warm up by a fire.
I don't need to. Let's keep moving.
Warm up for a bit. Why? It's Lao. As way of showing he cares.
This was not just Lao's gesture of kindness, but also a reflection of Father's own unspoken care for me. Sitting by the campfire, our conversation became more fluid and heartfelt than ever before. My father happened to notice a scar on my neck and asked how I got it. I offhandedly said it happened when I was 13, while carrying a plow home from the fields, and I was accidentally cut by the plowshare. My father wasn't home back then. He hadn't known, and seeing the scar stirred a deep sense of guilt in him for his absence. He realized then that he had missed far too many milestones in my life. As a rural postman, he may have been dedicated to his work, but as a father he felt he had failed. Fell silent for a moment, then slowly began to tell me about the day I was born. Back then he was busy trekking the postal routes in another county, often unable to return home even once a year. On the day I was born, my mother wrote him a letter. My father spent his whole life delivering letters, but the only one he ever received was the joyful news of my arrival. He was so overjoyed that he spent an entire month's wages to treat his colleagues in celebration. This was the first time I had ever heard these stories. At that moment I understood that it wasn't that he didn't love me, but that his duty forced him to be absent during my childhood. Now that I am walking the same postal road he once did, I finally realize the true hardship and weight of this job, and I've come to see how difficult it really was for him as a father.
Dad, it's time to go.
What did you say?
I said, Dad, it's time to go.
Did you hear that? Lao era. He called me Dad.
The simple word meant the world to my father. Carrying immense weight, a rare smile finally spread across his face.